I can also share my first experience in a transmission. So my very first CC meditation, there was something noticeably different about the state of absorption. Yeah, I think yeah, I can really relate with Tim. Like your story at 12 reminded me. I was just browsing some books my dad had, and it was like a qigong book in the basement. And I remember going into the dark room and like trying the instruction, and then having the first glimpse of maybe sensing into energy in the body, and I just freaked out. Like I thought it was like the sense of doing something I shouldn't have. Like I shouldn't have opened this door, and like lots of fear, lots of shame, and kind of closed that chapter for a bunch of years, and basically didn't become interested in spirituality for at least into my late 20s. Um, but this whole idea, I think, of chasing states, chasing special experiences was definitely a big part of my path, like for several years. I mean, looking back, I can see how it's understandable. Like it's really interesting when you have these perceptual experiences, like wanting to recreate it and maybe deriving some sort of confirmation from them, like, oh, I guess it's working, something's happening, right? So I think naturally we get drawn to investigating different techniques and maybe accumulating various experiences. Um, but yeah, definitely coming into CC, I guess my relationship to absorption was less about state chasing. And I think that there was always like an intuition that, okay, like, so what, if I now have experience cessation, so what that, I have perceptual, visual, artifacts from different states of concentration. And yeah, I think there's something really healthy, with the pedagogy in CC where absorption is certainly emphasized as like a foundational skill, kind of like a base fitness that we need, but it's not the end. You're not doing it endlessly to just get infinitely good at absorption because it's tied to all the other pillars. So all the other rooms like transmission, view refinement are dependent on certain yogic fitness. And so absorption is emphasized certainly in the beginning stages of the training, but it can also become a trap. And that's something I saw like in my time in CC, where it became obvious that I can't just keep clinging on measuring my progress by states of, yeah, absorption, how lucid I am, that kind of stuff. Um, I can also share my first experience in a transmission. So my very first CC meditation, there was something noticeably different about the state of absorption. So already the first contact with CC, I think looking back, it's understanding transmission now. So again, it's inseparable from transmission and the effect of the sangha, right? So the effect of all these other people yoking as a group, and then obviously the transmission vehicle itself of CC and the head teacher, right? So there is something unique about that I hadn't come into contact before. Um, so yeah, just the first sit, there was already kind of a flavor of like, oh, this is something that's not the same as if I were to just, train on my own and sit on my own. There's something unique about this space and the container. Um, yeah, I guess I'll pause there, but I can definitely relate to the guys earlier about experimenting and, at times maybe getting trapped, getting kind of too attached or reifying certain states, and then also discovering it's not ultimately about that. We use that fitness to, yeah, either bring it into life and actually stress test our realization so that we can express that fitness off the cushion, or to refine the view. Right? You need a certain level of absorption to even see your views. Right? So you actually just need base amounts of concentration or, yeah, the ability to continuously contact your experience to even begin to deconstruct it. So that's why we emphasize it in the beginning stages. We can't deconstruct until we even have the tools to, you have the instruments to investigate, as an example. Um, yeah, I'll pause there.